Hello everyone, I'm Kirk Heiner, Editor-in-Chief of appletell.
And I'm Ed McKell,
a writer for appletell, and this is our final video coming from the last day of Macworld Expo 2011 from appletell Towers. 2011's done. How do you feel about the show?
I'm tired. I'm tired because it was a great show.
It was a good show.
I had lots of conversations with tons of exhibitors and tons of regular people too. I mean, there was a lot of people there. There was a lot of energy and excitement. I think being in the Moscone West, which seemed like a strange decision at first and was kind of disappointing because usually we're in the north or the south or both in the past when Apple was here. Being in the West seemed kind of like being pushed to the side, but I think it was a really, really good choice. It worked out really well. It's a beautiful facility and worked much better for everybody involved, I think.
Yeah, it was good. There was a lot of good energy, and I didn't talk to a single person who was upset with the show. One thing we need to consider also about Apple not being here is before that dictated the tone of the entire show. If Apple was there and had a really big announcement, that would be a great buzz that would carry through the entire week. If Apple had nothing to talk about, or it was a letdown after the keynote, then the whole audience that was there on that first day would be let down as well. So without that, what dictates the tone of the show are the exhibitors that are actually there showing off their products. So it works pretty well.
Yeah.
In fact, we're now going to cut to a video that we shot on the show floor so you could get a feel for kind of what was going on out there today on the last day.
In this case, it's a planter. If I click on it, I just go to a phaser. See the 5 hands are on. I can slide up and down the change. The next device over, in this case, I have to go right here.
What's her name again?
Okay, now one of my favorite products that was on the show this year, and I believe it was a Macworld 2011, whatever they call it, winner, was Fling. This is a device from 10-1 Design, which is basically this. It's got a couple suction cups, it's got a button right here. You put this on your iPad screen, and it provides tactile feedback when you're playing games. You put it over the virtual D-pad. A lot of the games, wherever you touch, becomes the virtual D-pad, so you can place it just about anywhere. And it provides much, much greater control than you're going to get with just putting your thumb on glass. When you don't know if you've slid off the button or where it is on there, you now get that because of this. And it's a great design because, as you can see, it just moves throughout this entire circle, so you get a great range of motion. And even better, because it's clear, you can see straight through it onto the pad. Even the suction cups are clear, and the pieces that hold them in place, so you don't lose anything. And we're going to show it right now with me playing Samurai 2 Vengeance.
Have fun.
I will. Now, one thing you notice there is that we do have a skin over top of this. The suction cups don't actually work on top of the skin that you may have on top of the bezel, unless it's completely on the skin and not half on, half off the glass. But otherwise, it sticks really well and stays in place. And when you're done, it comes with a wonderful little carrying case you can put it in to keep it nice and safe. And again, this is Fling. It's from 10-1 Design, and it's available now at their website. Okay, 2012.
2012.
Macworld has been announced to take place on January 26th, 27th, and 28th of 2012.
Basically the same time of year as this year, only one day off, and that's because of the way the year rolls. And
Yep.
it'll actually happen again Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The same kind of schedule they did this year. I think their hope was that Saturday would bring in a lot of people that wouldn't be able to come on Thursday and Friday because of work and other things. Saturday was clearly not as busy as Thursday and Friday.
Especially in the morning. It started off very, very slowly, but did pick up. I'd say around midday. People were coming in around lunchtime. We left the show floor at about 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
So we don't know what the traffic was like from 4 to 6 when it was finished. But yeah, not sure if the Saturday experiment is continuing to pay off, but it's good for people who wouldn't be able to make it on a weekday. People driving up from away from the San Francisco area.
And even at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, there were still people queuing up at the line to come in and get their badges and come through. So they were definitely getting some traffic in the afternoon. Other than that, Thursday and Friday were absolutely packed.
Yes.
And, there were times where it was almost frustrating to get around the show floor because there were so many people. And I think we all hope that next year some of the vendors that didn't come this year, some of the exhibitors, will consider coming back. I talked to a couple of them. One of them was Crash Plan, and they said they are definitely going to give it some serious consideration for next year. Hopefully some but the most notable exception that I saw that wasn't here was Elgato, a very Mac-focused company. Obviously, they make the ITV DVRs and that sort of thing that work really well as tuners. They didn't come last year or this year. My hope is that they'll come sometime again in the future, as they've got some good things and is really a nice piece of Mac hardware, and I think it's the perfect show for it.
Right, and what I would like to see return are more gaming companies. Last year, Telltale Games showed up at the last minute because they had some big announcements, and they have a big announcement coming up in mid-February at an event that they're going to run themselves. It would be nice to have more on the show floor, though, because gaming adds a level of excitement to it that hardware and iPhone and iPad accessories really can't. So it would be good to see them back. I did talk to a couple companies who came just more as attendees, but they were specifically from gaming companies and said that they would like to show up next year. And one woman in particular I spoke to said that she's going to make a strong pitch to get some kind of presence. And it would be good because in the days of, like, say, Macworld New York, and I think even one here in San Francisco, there used to be 7, 8 gaming companies. They had a gaming pavilion, there were contests, and there was always a huge amount of buzz in that area. Yeah. Even when Apple had bad shows, there was always a lot of fun and excitement going on over there. So I don't expect it to come back as big as it was back then, but just 2 or 3 gaming companies for Mac specifically, not just iPhone and iPad, would really do a good job of bringing in new people and raising the interest level a little bit, I think.
I think it would be nice to definitely see that gaming area where people could go and demo games and try out new games of all types. They could even be iOS games and things like that. The LAN tournaments and things like that they did in the past always brought a lot of excitement. I think part of the downside was once they started to do the split show floors again between the North and the South, they always put the gaming in the opposite hall from Apple to try and attract people that direction, and I think that really kind of was a downside for the gaming companies, and they saw their stuff kind of drop off, and I think because of that, a lot of them decided to kind of walk away from this once Apple did too.
Right.
It'd be awfully nice to see them come back again.
Yeah, especially with the App Store and with Steam now on the Mac, we're starting to get a lot of high-end games, and we're getting them pretty quickly. And I think if people continue to download games as they are right now, then maybe more game developers would be interested in coming here to push their wares.
I'd have to say before Macworld 2011 started, I was very concerned about the possibility of even if Macworld 2012 was going to exist. Now that it's on the calendar, it's on the Moscone calendar, I don't think we have to worry about that. And based on the energy and excitement I saw out there, I think it's going to last for quite a bit beyond 2012 as well.
Okay, good. And I think the best thing we could do to send you off is to we'll here, just take a look.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys want to sing a beer song for us?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Okay. Ein Prosit, der Gemütlichkeit. Ein Prosit, sind ein O-Sit der Gemütlichkeit. 1, 2, Zuffer!